Good morning. My name is John Vantoff. I'm the MPP for Temiskaming Cochrane. I'm here with my colleagues France Gélina, Guy Bourgoin, Jamie West, and Lise Vaugeois. We're going to talk about our motion. I'm putting it forward on behalf of the NDP this evening, regarding. I'll just read the motion. It's about Highway 1117. That in the opinion of this House, the Government of Ontario should protect Canada's drivers, east-west trade, national resilience, supply chain reliability, and mining projects by working with the Government of Canada to declare the expansion and modernization of Highways 11 and 17 a project of national significance. Where the idea of this motion actually originated a long time ago was when the Prime Minister asked the provinces to come up with projects that would benefit the country, major projects that would benefit the country. And we thought, okay, finally, because Highway 1117 is the connection for the country. When that highway is blocked, and it's often blocked, there is no connection. We used to be able to guarantee we could just slip into the States and cross, but that might not be the case in the future. And quite frankly, Northerners were shocked and insulted when the project of national significance was the tunnel under the 401. And why? Because not discounting the traffic in the 401 and the importance of the 401, but for my riding, it's 10 times more likely to die in my riding on 11 than it is for anyone to die on the 401. Now, can you understand why we're upset? When we are all on portions of the road tour we just did, and what, not surprised, but what hurt me the most, and we brought people who'd paid the ultimate price, their families here to Queen's Park, but people contacted us and said, you know what, I thought it was just me who was afraid to drive on the highway. Like, we heard that time and time and time again. So, and it's not that we have just decided this is an issue. My colleagues and I have put forward bill after bill after bill, practical stuff, making it illegal to pass in a double line like it is everywhere else in the country. Nope. Government voted it down. Upping the standards on the highway. Government voted it down. Bringing the management back to the MTO. Government voted it down. So we thought we'd change tact, and bring something forward that hopefully the government could actually support. And I can't predict, but on the eve of this bill, of this motion, the government wrote to the federal government, and they're asking for a meeting to talk about this. Well, and that's great. Not discounting that. But that's cold comfort to the people who have lost loved ones and who will continue to lose loved ones. When I made a member statement on Thursday talking about this bill, and I said on Thursday, because there was just an accident, Agnes, and I said on behalf of the House, I hope that everyone is okay. Well, everyone wasn't. 2 people died that day. 3 people died. So you're part of the... Yeah. So, right? So asking for a meeting, great, and we're supportive. But the province needs to take responsibility of the crisis that's going there. And part of that is saying it should be an issue of national significance. They should spend major dollars and make the Trans-Canada as safe and as modern as it is in the rest of the country. That's what they should be doing. But there's so many things that they're not doing before that. So many things that they should be doing. And I will just give you an example. And so we stopped at in my riding, he's a tow truck operator. Pulls trucks out of the bush all the time. And this happens on a regular basis. You can watch the interview. The truck was in the bush. He asked the driver if the air was working, because air is very important on a truck. Brakes run by air. And actually, the license is AZ. A is for driving, and Z is for the brakes. You have to know how to run air brakes. He asked the driver, who was fully licensed in Ontario, if the air was working, and the driver didn't know what he was talking about. Now that's a provincial responsibility. And there's so many things like that. My last one, when we drove from Cochrane to Thunder Bay, there were miles and miles and miles, or kilometers, I'm a miles guy still, where there was no place for trucks to park. Even if a truck wanted to pull over, there is no place for a truck to park except in the live lane. And there are accidents waiting to happen, and that's why they do. So I hope that the government will vote for this motion. It's basically the same as their letter. It's pretty easy to vote for. That's why we actually tried to do this, so we could show that we are trying. We are trying. But if the government thinks that a letter to the feds is going to solve this problem and take the heat off, they're very, very wrong. Because we've learned that we've been promised so many times, that they're going to build this, they're going to build this. There was supposed to be a bypass around Cochrane, never happened. There was supposed to be a parking area for trucks in Field, never. It's been promised since I've been elected, never happened. I think, out of respect for the people who have lost loved ones, and out of respect for the people who now are so worried about losing loved ones, we are not going to let the government stop at a letter. I'd like to thank you for your attention, and we're happy to take questions.
I'll ask in English, but of course if I can have the answer in French as well. What do you think making this an issue of national significance will force the government to do? What do you think, like in practical effect? Is it beyond symbolic, or?
I think it will make the government. So once the government has made the admission that, hey, we are going to talk to the feds, it will give, and it'll take us a lot more push, but at least we'll be able to push the government to look. You said you were going to work with the feds. What are you actually doing? Because whenever we put forward bills that would make an immediate difference, the government votes against. And we make that very plain. So let's see if we can find something that the government hopefully can agree with and work from there. Because we're just looking for a way to put this issue forward. It's something. It's the number one issue in our part of the world, and so can we force the government? No. But we're hoping to be able to use this. Say, okay, like you vote against everything else, vote with us on this, and let's push together.
En français, s'il vous plaît.
En français, écoute, pour la motion, ta question était comment qu'on peut faire. C'est certain qu'ils sont majoritaires. Fait que, mais qu'on voit qu'un gouvernement peut, qui demande dans sa lettre d'avoir une rencontre et discuter avec le fédéral sur la motion qu'on propose. La journée avant, ils ont décidé d'envoyer la lettre au fédéral. On espère que le gouvernement va supporter la motion. Comme mon collègue a dit, on a amené tellement de projets de loi que nous, on croyait qu'on pouvait faire une différence quand on parle juste des 2 lignes solides. Le projet de loi s'appelait Chaz-Law dans le temps. Puis que c'est la grandeur de l'Amérique du Nord, à part que l'Ontario et quelques États, 3 ou 4 États. Puis tu te demandes, mais pourquoi ils votent comme ça? Fait que là, on prend une différente approche. On prend une motion qu'on pense qu'avec tout ce qu'ils ont vu, avec tout ce qu'ils entendent, avec les municipalités et tout, qui supportent, qui ont besoin, puis que le monde, il demande de l'action du gouvernement, qu'on peut tous travailler ensemble. Mais c'est certain qu'on reste sur notre appétit. Je ne vous le mentirai pas. Quand vous voyez à la lettre, qu'est-ce qu'ils disent? C'est qu'il veut avoir des discussions avec la province. On est passé le temps des discussions, là. Les concitoyens, là, les grandeurs du Nord, quand on a fait notre tournée, qu'est-ce qu'on entendait? C'est que le monde y avait peur. On est rendu qu'on a peur de conduire sur nos routes. Puis on sait que le bouchon en province, c'est justement la 11, puis la 17. Puis c'est des transcanadiennes, là. C'est pas, comme on dit en bon français, des trails à vache, là. C'est des chemins primaires, c'est des seuls chemins qu'on a aussi. Puis on espère que le gouvernement va faire la bonne chose. Parce qu'on veut travailler avec le gouvernement, mais ça ne va pas à sens unique, là. Puis ils sont majoritaires. Il ne faut pas obliger que s'ils ne veulent pas, ils peuvent voter contre la motion, puis prendre comme excuse qu'ils ont envoyé une lettre qui reste tout le monde sur leur appétit, qu'on va attendre, puis on va attendre des discussions, puis des discussions. On est passé le temps des discussions. Les gens sont tannés d'entendre les gouvernements dire les bonnes choses, puis il n'y a rien qui se fait quand ça vient à la sécurité routière. Cette motion-là, on peut tous travailler ensemble. Le fédéral peut mettre ça comme une priorité aussi, parce qu'on sait qu'il y a une motion aussi au fédéral. Fait que je pense que dans la moindre chose qui supporte la motion de mon collègue, puis qu'on travaille tous dans la même direction avec le fédéral pour que finalement, on voit des résultats concrets sur nos routes. Parce que comme c'est là, c'est juste dans mon comté, je pense que c'est 5 ou 6 décès là, depuis la nouvelle année. C'est des personnes qui ont perdu des êtres chers, ça, là. Certains, je viens passionné quand ça vient à ça, parce que c'est mon monde. S'ils n'ont pas compris ça encore, ben le ministre ne fait pas son travail.
Have you had any discussions with the government over the last couple weeks since, you released your video and brought families to the legislature about...
With individual members of the government caucus? Lots. And good discussions. With the government as government, not really. But with individual members, I give credit where credit's. We try really hard. I try really hard to have good relations with everyone on all sides, and the vast majority of people I do. And many individual members from the government, I think, get it. They don't, from what I see, they have been reluctant to push their own government. I think, and this letter is kind of coming out on the eve of this motion, I think is kind of a placeholder.
And sorry, your motion is for it to be designated a provincial priority, or is it a national priority?
So the motion, we originally when I put the motion forward, it was both provincial and national. I wanted to put provincial. It was hard to get the motion worded like that and get approved by the clerks. So, but the way the motion's written, it's national. But if you think about the things like the safety, the mining projects, it's obviously a provincial issue, right? Like if you think the government has spent I don't know how many millions of dollars advertising the Ring of Fire, right? How do you get to the Ring of Fire? Highway 11. They have spent more money advertising the Ring of Fire than actually making improvements. I think they spent $650 million over all the highways. That's what they project over the whole year. And I believe $100 million of that is winter maintenance. And great, you need to fix highways, but actual redesign and improvement, there's not much. There's not much. And they need to understand that.
John, just on that, can you just remind everybody how many times Highway 11's been closed?
I don't have the 2025 numbers. 2024, Highway 11, 363. And Highway 17, 886. And I predict that Highway 11 between New Liskeard and Cochrane is going to be closed today as well. Because it was closed. It will likely be closed today as well. There is an accident outside of Cochrane, and there's a few in New Liskeard, because winter isn't over where we are. So it thaws one day and freezes the next. The highways are glare ice. So I drive down every Sunday and drive home most time Friday mornings. The last 2 Sundays, 2 Sundays ago, I had to go over Quebec because Highway 11 was closed. And last Sunday, I got 45 minutes south of my home, 511. They said it was an accident, but said that one lane was open. 511 lied. So I waited for an hour, turned around, went home, waited for another 2 hours, and then till I saw cars coming the other way, and that's how I knew the highway was open again. Like, it happens continually. And this is the main highway across the country. The main one. If there was ever a project of provincial, of national significance, in a time when you can't rely on your neighbor to the south, it's this one.
So what do we need from the feds if it's declared a national significance? Is it money? Is it permits? Like speeding it up?
So usually when a major project is announced, right? It's funding from the feds, and in the province's letter they said we want they would like an expedited permitting process. That could be part of it, but mostly, if it's truly at this point in our history, if it's truly they're looking for projects of national significance, Ontario is a choke point. Why can New Brunswick and Manitoba? So people say, well, Manitoba's 4-lane, but Manitoba's flat. New Brunswick has the same topography as us in Northern Ontario, very much similar, and they can have divided 4 lanes in New Brunswick. We always hear that we are the most powerful. You know, this government, the province compares the province to the G7. Yet we cannot maintain an equivalent Trans-Canada highway to the rest of the country. Like, why is that? And I know why it is, because we're so close to the States down here that we see the States as, but that might not be the case in the future. When the Nipigon Bridge went down, people recognized it. Well, the Nipigon Bridge is actually a few thousand kilometers long, because there is parts of 11 that as soon as they're closed, you're done. You're done. The trucks go up there in the wintertime, highway closes, there's 5 kilometers length of trucks. And that is the trade across the country. We need to fix that. We really do. Thank you. Oh.
Si la motion passe, si le gouvernement est de votre bord, les effets concrets immédiats que vous attendez suite à ça, c'est quoi?
Est-ce que je peux? Je vais essayer en français. Qu'est-ce qu'on entend est un vrai effort pour travailler avec le gouvernement fédéral, mais aussi un plan provincial. C'est les choses qu'on va faire immédiatement pour construire le plan. Il y a des choses qu'on peut faire immédiatement. Plus d'investissement, le licensing pour les truckers, toutes les choses que la province peut faire. On veut voir un plan immédiat pour ça. De rien. Thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it.